Hi, my name is Antoine. This is a Clockwork English video. Clockwork English, where you learn to speak English easily and fluently, where you're confident speaking in English. Today, we're going to do a short self-study tips video, which I'm going to dub Tom and Antoine's board game review. How come? Very simple. Tom and I noticed, summertime has started. You don't want to be stuck in a classroom with a teacher. You want to be out there having fun with your friends or your family. And board games are a great way to do that. There are some great board games out there for you to play with your friends in English. And today we're going to do 3 of them. Alright? I've got 3 board games. The first one is called Taboo. It's a classic. I'm going to show you later how it works. Taboo is a word game, alright? It's best played in groups more than 3, alright? We've got a great classic, Scrabble. And my personal favorite, it's called Scotland Yard. It's not a classic at all. Very few people know of it. This is actually a game I used to play in my childhood at big family reunions. It's a great game. Great way to get everybody talking in English. But remember, if you're playing this with friends, remember for your English, everybody has to speak English. So these are the 3 games I'm going to explain. Taboo, Scrabble, and Scotland Yard. Let's get cracking. This is our first game, Taboo. What does taboo mean? Taboo refers to a topic of conversation that you shouldn't be talking about. It's best to avoid. That is the principle of this game. Now, let's open the box. We've got some paper to keep score. Got a little fancy box to put cards in. There's a special dice. A timer. The most important in this game are the cards. So you have different colors, different levels. On one set, you have a word underlined. Here it's yesterday. This is the word that the other team must guess. And here I have 5 that we call taboo words. These are 5 words that I cannot use whilst explaining this word. Okay, so I have to explain yesterday without saying 24 hours ago, preceding, and of course Paul McCartney, but I can't say the Beatles, for instance. So, for example, how could I explain the word yesterday without using these words? Well, it's the day before today. Hopefully the others should understand it's yesterday. What else have I got? I noticed in here we have the word better. Okay? The word better. I'm not allowed to say improved, good, best, gambler, bookie. There's the word hostel. You can't say the words lodging, hotel, students, traveling, cheap. You have to guess euro. You cannot say money, overseas, spend, currency, dollar. You can't say the word pound though. That's interesting. This is Taboo. It's a really fun game to play with your friends, with your family. Just gather in different teams. Don't forget, use the timer, because it's too easy if you can just take forever to guess the word. And this is Taboo. It's very easy to play, simple rules. This is one of Tom and my favorite games to play with students. A lot of fun. It's great for your vocabulary, it's great for your speaking skills because you have to explain words constantly and you have to be quick. You have to be faster than the other team. So that's it. This is Taboo. This is our second game, Scrabble. This is a classic. I know this game exists in a lot of different languages. You do want to make sure that you buy the English version of Scrabble. Not because English is a better language, it's absolutely not true, but because you'll see that letters are worth different points. Now, you'll see when I explain the game why that's important, but you can guess that in different languages, letters come up in different regularity. That's why, for example, A is very common in English. It's only weighed 1 point. Y, kind of common in English, it's worth 4 points. In another language, the Y can be much less common, and so it'll be worth more points. The A as well. So please, make sure you buy the English version of the game. I'm not trying to get the company to make more money, don't worry. It's just about this. Or, if you really want to, just look it up on the internet. It's the 21st century. Look it up on the internet, find out how much the letters are worth in the English version of Scrabble. So let's open the box. There we go. So, well, very important. This is the Scrabble board. Each square has room for 1 letter. And you're going to use letters to form words on the board. As you can see, here you have the letter distribution in your game. So there are 9 A's, 2 B's, 2 C's, 4 D's, 12 E's, because, well, E's are very common in English. 2 blanks. Blanks are letters that are not worth any points, but you can choose what letter they are. Okay, so if I have a blank, I need an R, it becomes an R. And you'll also notice that on the board you have different types of tiles. So you have blank tiles where just the letter is worth what it's worth. And there's special tiles where double letter score, the letter that is on this square, for example, if I'm using a Y, as I said before, a Y that is worth 4 points, all of a sudden it's worth 8 points, because 4 times 2 equals 8. Triple letter score, my Y that is worth 4 points becomes 12 points. There are also double word scores. In this case, if my whole word is worth, let's say, 12 points, times 2, 24 points. And finally, the best tile of all, the triple word score. Well, it makes sense. A word that is worth 12 points becomes worth 36. This is our board. Now, to play on our board, we need letters, of course. For that, each player or team gets this to hide their letters. Okay, this is mine. Let's pretend I'm playing against someone over there. That's theirs. And we get a bag full of letters. So what you do is you take 7 letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's me. Okay, interesting. That's a shame. But we're back. So look, these are my letters. A, O, S, O, N, R, C. As you can see, practically all my letters are worth 1. That's because they're very common letters in English. I've got a C. It's worth 3 points. That's pretty cool. Not bad. Of course, it's not worth. The maximum is 10-point letter. Now I have to use these letters to form a word. All right. Do you see anything? You can switch things around. O-N. Now this is pretty cool, you see? If there was a Y on the board, I could write the word crayon. Fortunately, I'm starting, so for now there are no other letters on the board. Race, if I had a C, an E at the end. Okay, it looks like I'm going to start with a very, very simple word. It's a shame. I'm going to start with car. Put my tiles on the board. And I get 1 plus 1 plus 3. That's 5 points. 5 points for me. I write that down. And now it's the other team's turn. I, of course, pick 3 more letters. So that I always have 7 letters. Now it's their turn to play. I can look at my letters. Well, I got that E to do race, but I can't anymore. I can do tone. That's not bad. I can use an S as well. That's pretty cool. Now let's pretend they played. They played their turn. It's my turn. Now, to play now, there are letters already on the board. I cannot randomly put a word wherever I want. This is where the first word goes. It's the star. But now I have to form words based on that first word. So what could I do? Well, actually, look. I have the word tone, and if I add an E to the word car, it becomes care. There we go. So this is my second turn. That's how to play. It's a very good game for the mind, very good for vocabulary. It's not just about spelling, it's also about thinking how to transform words. Car became care, okay? I can use an S here to turn it into a verb. He cares, she cares. This is a very good game. Again, one of our favorites with Tom. We play it a lot with students. We highly recommend it. Take it with you over the holidays. Great stuff. Let's wrap this up. There you go. Board goes back in like this. Very simple game. A lot of fun. If Tom were filming this, he would remind you that he is the all-time champion at English Connection anniversaries. It's been our third. Yes, this year was our third anniversary, and again, he organized a little Scrabble competition with the students, and he won. Guess that. All right, Scrabble, second game. All right, third and last game, and remember, my personal favorite, Scotland Yard. If you don't know, Scotland Yard refers to detectives in England. This is a detective game. It's wonderful. As you can see on the board, you've got a detective, and you can see sights in London. So guess what? This is a detective game taking place in London. So I've opened the box. This is a board game, so very important. We have the board. As you can see, the board is quite huge. This is London. This is not all of London, but it is the center. You can see Old Scotland Yard here. There's Big Ben. What else can you see? National Theatre. London Bridge is here. Tower Bridge. Tower of London. The Gherkin is right here. Well, basically, where's Buckingham Palace? How can I not point out Buckingham Palace right there? As you can see, this is London. Now, you see, there are tiles all over London. These are places in London. They're all connected by yellow, green, and red lines. What do these represent? This is public transport in London, basically. The yellow lines that go everywhere are taxis. The green lines, they're buses. The red lines, that's the metro. Now, as you can see, we have fully yellow tiles. These are tiles you can only access by taxi. If I take a taxi, one per turn, I'll go from 139 to 130 to 131 to 125. This is, if I start here, 1, 2, 3 turns of mine. I can move much faster by bus. As you see here, from 124, as you can see, it's a green tile, and it's connected by a green line to 111. I can take a bus in one turn and cover all that space. Even if there are tiles in the middle, you see, from 124 in one turn, I can go all the way to 153, because these are not bus stops. And, of course, the metro goes further and faster. Here I'm at 111, and I can go all the way to 153 in one turn using the metro. This is London, this is the transport of London. 79, go all the way to 67 in one turn using a metro. Now, what's the point of this? The point of this game is that there's going to be one spy in London and a certain number of detectives that are going to try to catch him. The only way to catch the spy is to land on the tile he's on. Let's have a look. What have we got for that? This is a cap, okay? The spy puts it on so that other people, you see the spy is called Mr. X, so that other people, other players, cannot tell where he's looking on the map. Because where he is actually a secret. That's the whole point of the game. So this is a little cap for Mr. X, the spy. These are tickets that all the players must use to use the public transport. So if I'm using a taxi, I'll use one of these. I give it up. I have one taxi less that I can use to catch the spy. A bus, a metro. All the detectives start with 10 taxi rides, 8 bus rides, and 4 metro rides. They all have to use these to catch the spy. If they don't, the spy has won. What else have we got? These are instructions. Put them to the side. This is very important to the game. This is where the spy writes down where he's been. It's very important because the spy, as I mentioned before, is invisible. Let's have a look. This was a previous game. First round, the spy was at 58. That's where he was, square 58. Then he moved to 44, then to 74, then to 92, then to 73. Now you see they're circled numbers. That's when the spy reveals himself, or else it would be impossible. As you can see, every 5 turns, the spy reveals his position to the detectives. Now, it's not guesswork, of course, okay? It's not just guesswork. The detectives need to think in a logical way how to catch the spy. And the only way you can do that is by knowing which transport the spy is using. So for example, the spy will write these down but not tell anybody. He'll just put a taxi. And then all the detectives play. And then his turn comes and you see that he takes a bus. All the detectives play. And then you see that he takes a metro. And as it's the third turn, it's circled. He reveals himself. He shows himself. He says, "Here I am. I'm at square 140. All the detectives now know where he is. Okay. The detectives have to try to corner him. So then they move. The spy uses a bus. Well, from 140 you can deduce that, where could he have gone? The detective could have gone to 133, 156, 154, and 82. There you have it. Only 4 possibilities. From where we saw him at 140, he could have gone, good use of English, could have gone to 133, 156, 154, and 82. Then you see that he takes a taxi. And again, you have to deduce. So actually, this is a great game to practice your English. Why? Because the whole point of the game is for the detectives to communicate. Okay? You need to build some teamwork effort to corner the spy in one area of the city and catch him. That's why this game is brilliant. It's fantastic. It's loads of fun because you can't play without communication. All the detectives have to communicate. It's all about teamwork. It's all about finding the spy together. There are only 2 outcomes of this game. Either the spy gets away with it, or the detectives win. So detectives, communicate. Use deduction in English. We've already done an easy grammar video on deduction. Modes of deduction, it's really how we think in English. We use them all the time. Where could the detective be now? Where might he have gone? Okay, he might have gone. He took 2 buses. From 140, he might have gone to 133, then 127. He might also have gone to 133, then 157. But one of your teammates will say, no, that's not possible because I'm at 170. He's taking too big a risk. You say, well, he might be banking on that. Go to 157 just to make sure. He could be there. There you have it. I really love this game. Honestly, this is a fantastic game. I've played it loads of time in my childhood, and we bought it especially for our students. I knew that this game would be loads of fun and a great way to practice English. So this game, I highly recommend it. It's not a classic. It's not as famous as Scrabble or Taboo or Monopoly, for instance, but it's a brilliant game. The box is not that simple. I'll show you the box again. There you have it. Scotland Yard. And the company, Ravensburger. We bought it off Amazon.com. Really easy. So we'll put the link in the video. There you have it. 3 wonderful board games to accompany you during the summer holidays. Taboo, Scrabble, and Scotland Yard. Remember, my personal favorite is Scotland Yard, but please let us know what your personal favorite is. You can write comments to all our videos on our social sites and on our website. Continue following your weekly English workout, of course, with Tom. It's very important. Remember, practice once a day, every day. You'll train your muscles, you'll train your ears, and you will speak English fluently and easily. You will be confident. That's it for me this week. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.